My first morning in Japan started with sunrise. Oh wait, no. I totally slept through it and it's already lunch, which is quickly turning into evening in Tokyo. The time difference with Europe is like 7-8 hours. So when it's morning in Japan, I should still be sleeping. But well, it's my first day and I can allow myself that, I guess. So I immediately went out to find lunch. I'm staying in a hotel in the business center of Tokyo in the Shinagawa area, so it's easy to find local restaurants without tourist lines. You can learn more about the hotel I stayed at following the video above. I ordered this fish set for just 10 euros. By the way, this could easily be a Japanese breakfast, as Japanese people eat a big breakfast and it almost always includes fish. Actually, fish has been a staple in the Japanese diet for centuries, thanks to the island nation's access to abundant seafood. With my batteries recharged, I decided to explore the city. Taxis in Japan are actually expensive, so locals and tourists use public transport. My hotel is near Shinagawa Station on the green Yamanote train line. This line, by the way, is a loop line that circles central Tokyo, kind of like a historical ring road for the city. Near the station, there is a shopping center where you can try the most delicious matcha and coffee, which I did. I've never had such a tasty matcha latte in my entire life. By the way, in this cafe, it is customary to find a free table at once and only then order a drink or dessert. And at the end, you have to put the dishes away yourself. And did you know matcha's origins trace back to 12th century China, but it was Japanese Zen Buddhists who really popularized it. By complete chance, I saw an eyeglasses brand jeans in the same shopping center and there were tons of customers even on a weekday. It is because Japanese people spend a lot of time on computers, so eye problems are common here. That's why smart Japanese people create some of the best quality, lightweight and comfortable glasses both for people with vision problems and regular sunglasses. They are leading the way in eye care technology. So I ordered a pair of Japanese sunglasses for myself too. They promised to deliver it in 7 days and they did it. And now let's head back to the station. I want to show you one of the Japanese traditions. Bento boxes are super popular here and almost every station has these shops where you can find a bento box for any taste. Bento is believed to have originated in the Kamakura period, around the 12th to 14th centuries, initially as dried rice carried for outdoor activities. Today there are about 20 different types of bento boxes in Japan, each with its own name. The average price is 7-9 euros for one bento box, and at 8-9 p.m. they give up to a 30% discount on bento boxes, so it gets really crowded before closing. Tokyo's metro or subway is one of the busiest in the world and it carries over 8 million passengers daily. That's more than the entire population of some countries. But despite the huge crowds, everything is well organized. There are markings on the floor to show where to stand to let passengers exit the train. Everyone lines up and moves according to the signs. Before entering the train, it's recommended to put your phone on silent to avoid disturbing other passengers and to let visually impaired people hear the station announcements clearly. This is how their train station in Japan looks like. Sometimes there are many people, depends on the time. Now it's like 2 p.m. here. That's why people at work. But in the evening, in the morning, it's kind of crazy. There are a lot of people, but still it's very peaceful. People not shouting, they are very quiet. Also, it's not common to talk on the train. And Japanese sounds, they are so funny. Even in Instagram, you can find such kind of posts where people are saying like, if you miss Japanese sounds, here it is, and then.
電車とホームの間は広く空いております。
湘南新宿 line, the Cycle line, and the Hibiya subway line.
So I just went out from Shibuya train station. On the exit, there are stores like Balenciaga, and also right there you can see Yves Saint Laurent. So in Europe, people, if they would have it, they would love it so much. In Japan, in Tokyo, it's pretty normal. Japanese people are very fashionable. There are tons of international and also local Japanese brands. For example, here is a huge Uniqlo store in Tokyo's fashion district. And you can find a Balenciaga boutique right outside the subway station. This is at Shibuya Station by the famous Hachiko statue, by the way. As you remember, Hachiko, the loyal dog, is a symbol of faithfulness, and his story is over 100 years old. And even in Japan, there are so many people, they are still, behaving very nicely, very attentive to each other. They're not aggressive, and you don't hear, like someone is screaming. They are talking quietly, mostly also at the train or in restaurants. And if you see people who talk loudly, probably they are tourists. But let's take a little walk and visit Meiji Jingu, the largest Shinto shrine in Tokyo, dedicated to Emperor Meiji and his wife. It's free for tourists to visit. Local people often have wedding ceremonies here. It looks very spectacular and unique. In this case, it seems a Japanese woman is marrying a foreigner. Meiji Jingu was built in 1920, and the surrounding forest is actually man-made, designed to be a peaceful escape from the city. And here is the result of over-tourism in Japan. They had to protect the torii gates with plastic from tourists who don't respect Japanese traditions and culture. Torii gates, by the way, are traditional Japanese gates, most commonly found at the entrance of a Shinto shrine, symbolizing the transition from the mundane to the sacred. I came here in the afternoon, so when the sun sets, it gets really cold. When I filmed this, it was December. You can buy these heat packs in any local convenience store and even for your feet. I bought about 50 of them back home to Belarus. They're a must-have in winter where I live. These heat packs, known as Kairo, have been used in Japan for centuries, originally filled with charcoal and iron powder. I almost forgot to show you these cool guys in front of Meiji Jingu. They are into Rockabilly music, which is where classic rock and roll and modern rock came from. Rockabilly fashion and music culture took root in Japan in the 1950s, influenced by American culture. Next, We are going to the famous shopping street in Tokyo, in Harajuku, Takeshita Street. It's always packed with tourists, which is understandable, because here you can find unique vintage and cosplay shops and even this cute Pix cafe and just see people dressed up in anime costumes. If you want to explore Harajuku better, check the link in the description to book a tour with a professional guide. Harajuku has been a hub for youth culture and fashion since the post-war era, so it is definitely a place to explore. Guys, I'm so shocked. The street is packed, with people, many tourists, many Japanese people, and there are so many different small stores, anime clothing, cafe with small pigs, dogs, different kind of food, crazy, which you also can't even imagine that it can exist. Different kind of things, which is really I'm shocked. In Belarus we are quite conservative country, and to see such kind of stuff for me for the first time here in Japan, it's so crazy. Be sure to check out the street, you will love it. Here is what Tokyo streets look like before New Year's. By the way, New Year's is the main holiday in Japan, and they celebrate it on January 1st, visiting family and friends. When I was in Kyoto for New Year's, it felt like everyone just went to sleep, and only tourists looking for a celebration were simply shocked that there were no fireworks or parties. This is a New Year night here in Japan, in Kyoto, and this is very interesting because there is no firework, people just at home or regularly driving bicycle, going home or to supermarket. Really very unusual compared to European way of celebrating New Year. And since New Year here in Japan is a very peaceful time, majority of the restaurants are closed, so I decided to come to the 7-Eleven and to find my bento box. But on the morning of January 1st, I saw many beautifully dressed Japanese people either going to congratulate relatives or to pray at a local temple. I'll tell you more about this in my future Japan videos. And did you know that New Year's in Japan, known as Oshogatsu, used to be celebrated according to the lunar calendar, but shifted to the Gregorian calendar during the Meiji era? Since we are talking about shopping, let's visit this shopping center in Tokyo with a cool green area on the roof. It seems to me that Japanese people come to shopping centers not only to shop, but also to play computer games, watch shows, dance, or just eat good food. Basically, this Harajuku area of Tokyo is kind of, I would say, center of Japanese young culture and fashion. That's why in this department you also can see so many art objects, different kind of brands, local, a bit crazy, Japanese shopping centers are very often multi-purpose hubs, reflecting the country's efficient use of space. I went out from the store to this green area, and from here the view is so fantastic. You can see how people crossing the road and all these lights, Christmas decoration. It's so beautiful. I would say a bit cold, of course. It's before Christmas exactly. As it's still nice. Here you can see candles. You can see all these young people dressed, so cool. And if you cross the street to the next shopping center, you can find this unique Starbucks with a DJ. By the way, Starbucks is very popular among young Japanese people. Starbucks entered the Japanese market in 1996 and has since become a symbol of modern urban culture. And if you just cross the road, you will get into another department store. On the very last floor, there is this lovely Starbucks cafe and such a beautiful decoration, especially during Christmas. We've probably worked up a good appetite, so it's time for dinner. You know, in Japan, in Tokyo, there are thousands of places where you can eat, and of course, I tried already so many restaurants with Japanese food, but here in Harajuku, I decided to go for a Chinese restaurant to a little bit, have some change. So this is right here behind me. Let's try. Walking around Harajuku, I came across this Chinese restaurant. I'm really hungry, and Chinese restaurants usually have big portions. So let's have dinner here. So I went inside of the restaurant, and sometimes in Japan you have to wait a little bit because there might be some people in a queue in front of you, but normally it doesn't take so long. And as always in Japan, they give you a glass of water for free, and many times also like tea, normal tea, black tea, or like matcha or Japanese tea can be served for free completely. So now I ordered my food, and let's see what is going to be on the table. The lady was kind of surprised that I asked for hot Japanese tea, but yeah, I like it more because it's so cold outside. Japanese Chinese cuisine, known as chukaruri, has evolved into a unique style of cooking over the years, distinct from both traditional Chinese and Japanese food. Here, as you can see, a big portion of Chinese bowl. Here is shumai and some soup. So I'm very excited because I'm super hungry. It's not really very nice when you record other people here, but slightly I will show you that actually it's full and it's pretty normal here in Japan. Almost all the place is packed with people, so be ready for that, and it's definitely okay if you have to wait like 10 minutes for the table. So more food came. Here is gyoza and some soup again, and shrimps with chili sauce, and of course rice. Well, it's time for me to sleep, and you should definitely subscribe to my channel because I'll be posting many more vlogs from Japan. If you're planning your first trip to Japan, check the link on the screen. There I've explained in detail how to prepare first-time travelers to Japan for a trip. I'll see you there!